Hey guys, while I was in Phoenix, I was lucky enough to go over and spend some time with my buddy Steve Trang, and we did a little podcast swap. And in this episode, we are not talking about the next shiny object, not some AI hype, not buzzwords, not tools you don't understand or won't ever even use. We sat down and we talked about sales. Really the hardest part of this business, and frankly, the most ignored part, and the one thing that actually determines whether or not you make money. So today, my guest is Steve Trang. Steve's been a wholesaler. He's owned a title company. He's trained sales teams all over the country. And after years of coaching, hiring, firing, and listening to thousands of calls and really watching where deals die, he realized the problem, it wasn't marketing. It was managing salespeople, that process, the follow-up, the consistency. So instead of guessing, Steve went back to his engineering roots and built systems that remove emotion, feels, vibes. They remove the excuses and expose the truth inside your sales operation. So if you're tired of hoping that your team does what they're supposed to do, if you want visibility, if you want accountability and predictable revenue, this conversation, it matters. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Closers Club, the place where real investors learn what people who are actually winning are doing right now and how to implement it into their business today. All right, Steve, listen, you have been, for those of you that don't know, Steve has been a wholesaler. You've owned a title company, so we have that in common, and a sales trainer, and you've done that for countless teams all across the country, and now you are all in on AI.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's the new fad, right? You're all in on AI. So before we even talk about that, because I definitely want to get into AI and whether or not it's just nonsense.
It's not NFTs, I can promise that.
I did invest in some NFTs. That was terrible. So I feel like you've been all over the map, but maybe not. Is there any kind of like straight line for kind of where you started and where you're at now? And I know we talked about our business and how we've done that, but where do you see like that progression over time? And did it feel like it was a straight line?
It definitely did not feel like a straight line. It felt like I did a whole bunch of exploring, in like in a desert for a very long time, right?
Wandering, yeah.
But I feel like everything I've done in my career culminated, helped me get to where I am today.
Okay.
And if we're talking about like the straight line, the line could not be any more, of a scribble.
Like spaghetti?
Like you look at the map, right? Like here's how we think success looks like, and it's like a straight line.
Right.
It's like here's what success really looks like, and it's a scribble. Mm-hmm. If you look at my path, it actually is not just a scribble, but we went way backwards and forward. And the reason why I say this is that part of what we're doing with AI is not everyone knows this, but I have an engineering degree. Right. So a lot of what we built in AI, and the reason why we were able to build it so quickly was because I was an engineer. Right. So like, I went to grad school, UC San Diego. I did so well at ASU that I actually was recruited to go to UC San Diego. I was recruited UC San Diego, UCLA, and then Stanford, right? So I did well in school, worked at Intel for 3.5 years. So I have that engineering background, but even part of this journey of building out the AI, my internships when I was at Arizona State University, that experience was helpful. Because
what was your internship? How did that happen?
So I worked at Honeywell, where we built.
My dad worked for Honeywell.
Yeah, so I worked at Honeywell, where we did message warning systems, which is basically like, hey, someone's smoking in the bathroom, an engine just went out, right? Like all these things, like that's what I worked on at Honeywell. But in order to make those systems work, part of that was I did a lot of database programming, right? Which is important because now we're using the database like crazy inside our AI, like building this crazy machine. I was using experience from when I was 21 years old, working at Honeywell. That experience has been helpful. Building a system where you got to architect an entire design, working at Intel, that experience was helpful. So when you said like, was it a straight line? It was the exact opposite of a straight line. Because not only did all my real estate and sales management and leading salespeople, training other people how to lead people, how to hire, all this experience culminated. But like everything I did in my after college, even through college, got me here. If I didn't have all the experience, we wouldn't have what we have today.
Right. And we've talked about that too, that we go through in our businesses where we think we've got the right thing, but we just keep kind of molding that clay and we realize, oh, this was the thing that I should have been doing all along. So I definitely want to talk tech, and I want to talk the AI because I'm not sure that I'm a believer. So I'm going to ask you some tough questions.
Well, there's that Star Trek, right? The cube. I don't know if you're like, right? Like, was it resistance is futile?
Resistance is futile. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a thing, but I'm not sure. I think people are overexcited about the capabilities of it. So I'm definitely interested in
more hope than reality, perhaps.
Yeah, and maybe because it's so new, people are just really excited about it. But before we do that, like in real estate, and you've done a lot of coaching and a lot of different things. What do you think has been the problem that you've been trying to solve all along? And, are you solving that now with AI?
The problem I've been trying to solve all along, since 2019 is sales. Right. And not just sales, not just how to get better at sales, but how to manage salespeople, how to run a sales organization. Because marketing is just copy and paste.
Yes.
Right. You just go to the mastermind. Oh, he's using property leads, buy more property leads. Right. That guy's using Bateman Collective, get Bateman Collective. Right. Hey, this person's using Left Main. All right, go get, like, it's just, a lot of this is copy and paste. And then you have to learn recruiting, which is recruiting and managing hiring. Like, that's the hardest thing. And in all of that, salespeople is the hardest, right? And I speak on this as a salesperson myself. We are freaking divas. We want the closable appointments. Give me the laydowns, and I'm going to close all of them. But you want me to follow up, David? You call that person twice?
Yeah.
And put notes in the CRM? Like, I don't walk on water, David.
Which is interesting that you have an engineer brain. Like, you have a thinker brain engineer. You're very process oriented, and you're also a salesperson. Like, those two things don't normally go together.
I wasn't naturally a salesperson, but I had all the deficiencies of a salesperson as an engineer. Right? So when I went to ASU, I didn't go for electrical engineering. I started as a computer science major. Then I switched to electrical engineering because I saw electrical engineers were more valuable. Right? Purely like a financial decision. But when I was programming, not everyone, a lot of people did not care for me as a software designer because there's a right way to program, which is like, what's the goal? What's the objective? Let's plan it out. Let's just pseudocode this thing by hand. And then once we pseudocoded it, then we're going to go ahead and make it, and then we're going to document all of it.
Okay.
This is the right way to program.
Yeah.
That's not how I programmed.
Okay.
Right? I was like, okay, what's the hardest part I got to get done in this program?
Yeah.
It's this algorithm. Great. Let me figure out this algorithm. All right, once this algorithm's done, what's the next thing to add on top of this algorithm? And I would build it, and I would finish it faster than anyone else. But it was ugly as hell. You would not be proud of this. You would not print this and hang it to show for mom. But I got it done faster with less effort than anybody else. And then you have to document what was your code. As always, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Which is very much like my behavior in a CRM. Yeah, I'll put the notes in there later. And later just never happens.
Yeah. So let's kind of go back. So you were a sales trainer. Like I was at your other office. You had a classroom. You brought people in there all of the time. So in looking at those salespeople, what were some of the biggest struggles that they had?
So the biggest problem with a lot of salespeople is that they have, the first thing you learn in sales is all the wrong things, right? Because you learn from your experience from other salespeople, what's done to you, and what you notice is all the bad stuff. You don't notice the good stuff. You notice all the bad stuff.
Right.
So you think, okay, that's sales. I got to be pushy. I got to do the sit and stare, right? And then you get into a sales career and you have a sales manager like, you got to do this. You got to say this. And they're always teaching, here's the move. When they say this objection, here's what you say. When they say that objection, here's what you say. But we're not teaching you a foundation. We're not teaching you a skill set. We're not teaching you a framework. We're teaching you like, here are all the one-liners, right? It's like trying to go pick up girls in the clubs. Like, here, say this line and you'll get it, right?
And then what? Like, and then what?
But there's nothing after that. So a lot of the salespeople, when they start off, is they don't know how to have a sales conversation. Yeah. They just got to get a bunch of good one-liners, which was me for the longest time as well. Because like when I got into sales, I didn't know how to sell, so I read the books. Yeah. Right. And I got the one-liners. I got my coaches, and they say this. Hey, when they say this, say that. Here's how you handle commission objections. But I didn't learn a sales process until much later in my career. And once I learned a sales process, like, God, sales is actually really easy. Yeah. Once you understand the sales process.
Okay. So you saw that people were having that problem. At what point were you like, I should scrap everything that I'm doing and I'm going to go all in on AI?
Yeah. Well, We didn't scrap completely everything.
Okay.
We just leveled up our sales training. So we still do sales training. We still have people that buy our sales training.
Right.
But really what they're buying is our AI services, which comes with sales training. Okay. So we still have the sales training. Like we had a call this morning, 80-some people on the call. Right? So we still have our sales training. It's still ongoing. We just promote the AI tool because the AI tool helps me get to my goal, which is eventually selling a company. The reason why I shut down the wholesaling company, which was hard to do because that was my ego, it was my identity. Bought my first property in 2005.
Me too.
It was hard because I've always been a real estate guy. But part of the decision-making process is like, I'm building a company that I can sell.
Yes.
I can't sell a wholesale company.
Steve, people sell wholesale companies for $4 or $5 million.
All the time. Right. Of course. Right. All the time. However,
Okay.
there's not a lot of great comps. It's not very well documented. Right?
A lot of people on Instagram say that they've sold.
Right. But, you know, like I haven't seen the actual financials. Right. Like, you say like, hey, that house over there on Elm, that sold for $430,000. Let's go to PropStream.
All right.
Did it sell? Yeah. Great. Got comps. There's no comps. So if I don't have any comps, I can't get a buyer to pay that price. So for me, I want to build a company I can sell. So that was the sales training organization.
Yeah.
Once we saw AI come around, we saw that we can get to a higher monthly recurring revenue, higher annual recurring revenue that a hedge fund, Wall Street, VC firm, whatever, someone would want to buy. So we're doing the AI with the exit in mind. And that's been my sole focus since December 2023 when I sat down and wrote out my vivid vision. I'm building a company I can sell.
Love it. Cameron Harold's book.
Cameron Harold's book.
You guys should have that. Have you had him on the podcast?
Had him on the podcast. It was awesome. One of my most viewed podcasts in 2025.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So if I'm building a company I can sell, then I got to maximize MRR. I got to maximize ARR because also like when I talk about creating millionaires, that includes everyone in my company.
Right.
Right. A lot of people in my company have shares in the company.
Nice.
I've got to sell this for as much as possible so I can create millionaires within my organization.
I love that.
And so, so we added the AI. We didn't dump the sales training. We still do it.
Okay.
We don't do the live events because that was a pain in the butt to sell. But the AI part, that is an easier sell because here's what I learned in doing sales training. I love fulfilling it. I love seeing the transformation in people. But it's a much harder sell because if I say, hey, David, if you'll spend 2 hours with me every week for the next year, I will help you make so much freaking money, right? That message sounds simple, but there's a part of your brain that thinks that sounds like a lot of work, right?
2 hours.
Yeah. But if I say, David, I've got a tool that will call your leads and book appointments for you.
Right.
You cannot wait to whip out your credit card. So it's easier to sell you what you want, but also give you what you need in the sales training.
Well, and that's what I want to dial in on. Like, I get it. I want to sell my company too for 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. Like, I've mapped it out on ChatGPT just like everybody else, right? Like what the multiples are. But there's got to be an underlying like reason and mission in what you're doing. So, you know, kind of tie those two things in. I think you might have kind of alluded to it there at the end, but, you know, sales training and helping people make a lot of money. And then, you know, the transition at least to the AI product. And I get it. The same way we're switching to Dispo first, like AI is a much easier thing to sell. Like anytime you say like we're powered by AI or it's AI, like yes, people do want to pay for that. But
it's like you just throw keto on anything, it's like an easier sell. It just it increase the value of the product.
It does. So I get it. It's easier because in all aspects of our industry, which is real estate, and you're working with people outside of that industry now, it's changed from when I started. When I started, it was do it yourself. And then it was done with you. And now it's done for you, right? Yeah. So people are, I think that's just our society. We've transitioned to
microwave culture, Instagram, TikTok.
Fast, instant gratification. So, you know, first off, tell me what your AI does, because I've got so many questions.
Yeah, so we do 4 different things now with our AI.
Okay.
First one's automatic call review. So after every appointment, if you're in person, use Applaud device, upload source. Applaud, P-L-A-U-D.
Okay.
That's
the one that sticks on the back of your thing too, right? Okay. Right. I had it. I didn't love it, but okay.
So you use that. It automatically uploads to our system, and then we score the appointment. And then we also have it, if you're doing a virtual, right? You run your appointment, you got a smartphone or some other system, automatically scores you how you did. So that's the first one. Saves you as a business owner or a sales manager.
Already I'm thinking, I can't set that up. Hopefully you're going to help me.
I can definitely help you set that up. But hours, right? Over a dozen hours every single week easily. We saved you there, right? And now you can identify which calls do I actually want to review. Because there are calls like, okay, this is a nothing burger. Like this guy was never qualified to buy.
Right.
Or this one is like, hey, like this was a closable appointment. What happened? Now we can identify actually which appointments we want to review together in our one-on-ones versus picking a random one, letting the salesperson pick.
Right.
Or having a VA pick, right? Like, no, like AI will tell you, like, here are the ones you want to listen to. So that's the first service we offer.
So as an owner, the one thing I hate more than anything is listening to sales calls. I don't know that I've ever made it through a full sales because I get like 15 minutes in and I'm like,
oh, you're so angry.
You got to come in. We got to talk about this. Like I would sit down with them once a week. We never made it through a full call because I felt like I was giving them so much grief. Like I knew as I had to stop at this point, like, let's just correct these.
Yeah, because like you have a vein right here in your forehead that starts like pumping, right?
It does. So you're saying that the AI uploads this stuff, the call, the transcript, not just I guess the transcript.
The transcript.
And it evaluates it and it tells me as the owner, hey, these are the 3 calls that we need to review and kind of gives me some kind of output on it.
Exactly. It'll score them, right? So all the calls for the last week, it'll score all the calls for the last week. And you can identify as the owner, here are the calls I want to listen to, right? Like here are the calls that are over 7 minutes and here are the calls that they score between a 65 and a 70. We can sit on those calls, right? So I can save you so much time right there.
So you're only going to listen to the worst calls, which is awesome, but I get it. You know, as a business owner, we need to maximize everything.
And then and we're talking about the focus is the 10 categories we have for persuasion, right? I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but like, did you open appropriately? Did you set appropriate expectations? Were you answering questions with answers or were you storytelling? Were you leading them to the sale or were you talking the whole time? Did you, let's see, what are some other ones? I can't think of all of them off the top of my head right now, but we have 10 different categories that are, did you demonstrate non-neediness or were you like being pushy? Did you allow them to close themselves or were you trying to push them towards a close? Right? Because if they close themselves, it's a done deal. They're not having second thoughts. If you push them to get the signed contract, now we're getting some seller's remorse, right? Did you prevent remorse and set clear next steps before you hung up the call or before you walked out the door? Right? You say, hey, David on my team from EasyREI is going to give you a call. Yep. Did you do that? Or you say, hey, thank you so much. You ran out. And then David calls like, who are you?
No good handoff.
Right? So did you do those things? We evaluate that. That's the call review. The other thing we do is role play. So managing a sales team, I hate getting involved and spending my time doing role play because you should be practicing, right? So as my sales manager, David rolls in Monday morning. Hey, David, did you role play yet so far? Did you have your role play today? When you said no, because it was almost always no, my reward for the sales manager is now I have to role play with you to make sure that you role play this week so that you're ready for this week. So we got 5 role play bots right now that we've created that you can role play against, right? So now you're prepared for the week. Stratton Brown, who's like our biggest user, sets 200 appointments a month with our tool. He requires his team every morning before they can take any appointments, has to role play, right? So role play, now that's taken care of. Running a sales team, the 2 biggest time sucks. Listening to calls, role play, which both are painful, that's done.
So now do we not need a sales manager?
We still need a sales manager. Okay. We still need someone to hold them accountable, to have the conversation, still actually care about the salespeople.
Because they're divas, right? I get it.
You still got to take care of them. Yeah. Right. You got to feed, your star players.
They are the people that make the money engine run.
Yeah. They are the ones that drive revenue to the company. Everyone else's job is important. It's the salespeople that drive the revenue. Like that is the closest activity to money coming into the bank account.
And that's why salespeople are generally the highest paid people in a company.
Exactly.
Good ones.
So someone still needs to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
We're not at a point yet, not this year, I don't think next year, where we can replace the sales manager, right? So now the third thing is new leads. So you spend money on marketing, direct mail, TV, PPC, whatever. Leads come in. When they land on the website and they fill out a web form, are you getting to them as fast as possible? So the old mantra was 5 minutes speed to lead. The MIT study, everyone cites that study. But you got to a point now where if you're not at 3 minutes, you're in trouble. Because 3 minutes, they're on another website.
Right.
So now with our tool, it's instant speed to lead. We're talking seconds, not minutes. When you fill out a form where AI calls you. AI calls you and books an appointment.
So if I fill out your form and my phone rings at 1:42 in the morning on a Sunday, because that's when people do the highest number of PPC submissions, do I know it's AI?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, AI will call you at 1:42 in the morning, so long as you accepted our compliance terms, right? Because we disclose This is outside, right? The TCPA and all the other federal regulatory bodies. You're going to hold us harmless. Right. So if you want this, just know like you're the one that violated it, not us. We've disclosed to you, you shouldn't do this, but you signed this thing that says, I will accept the risk.
Okay.
Right. So that's the new leads. And then we have follow-up.
Right.
And follow-up is that anything you said, hey, it's not worth my team calling them anymore. AI will continue to call them.
Okay.
So AI will continue booking appointments. That one we set on 8 to 5 or whatever your actual work day where your salespeople are actually ready. Because on the follow-up calls, we only do live transfers.
Wow.
Right? So you got your dead database. It calls them and asks them if they're still interested in selling. I'm still interested in selling. Route it to David. Live transfers. We're not scheduling appointments. It's too much hassle. If we're doing...
Okay, no appointment scheduling.
No, because if they're said, yes, I'm still interested in selling, let's get the salesperson on the line right now. Why waste any time? Why wait until they're in a different mood? Wait until they answer it? So
back to the 142 call, like what's happening on that call? Like what are they saying? Like, hey,
you just fill out our form. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time.
Right.
Before we transfer you to talk to someone on our team, got to ask you some questions, simple things, name, number, property condition, address, why are you selling, what do you hope to walk away with, which is our sales process. We don't ask what do you want to sell your house for, how much hoping to walk away with. From day one, from first touch, focusing on the net price, not sales price. And why are you just talking to us versus selling your house with a realtor?
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a great question. We always had our team ask that.
Yeah.
People are afraid to ask that, but I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. So those are the first questions. It's about 3 minutes, and then it books an appointment. When are you available to talk to someone on our team?
So they are booking an appointment. So do you
on
have
the new leads?
Yeah. So do you have some data at 1:42 in the morning or in the off hours? Is a call better or would a text to them be better?
We don't have any data on that because we don't do text right now. We went and solved the hardest problem first.
Gotcha.
So we should add text at some point. At some point we will, but we don't have right now.
It's always growing. I was just curious. I don't know. I might be a little bit freaked out if I filled out a form and boom, got a call right away. But people are clearly picking it up, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Nick is Nick Perry is like our poster child. Like he had. Like my favorite stat is I remember on Labor Day, we booked 16 appointments for his company on Labor Day, right? If you had an American team with Americans, you're not booking 16 appointments.
No, because none of them, they're all drinking beer and having sausages.
Which they should, right?
Right.
If you have VAs, you can maybe do it. But is your VA working all 24 hours in a day? This is working 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming even though people are evaluating their own calls, there's some database where you're tracking this. What are some of the biggest problems that you're seeing with salespeople?
With salespeople in general?
Yeah, salespeople, in auditing these calls.
They don't do what they're supposed to do.
Just everything?
Yeah, inability to follow a process, right? Like you could tell them, right? Like, David, we just did a call review. We looked at this. You failed to set appropriate expectation. You didn't reset it. You didn't tell them, hey, it's going to be a yes, it's going to be a no. Either way is okay. Just promise me you won't think about it. All right, I got your commitment. We're going to do this. Yes, Steve, we're going to do this. Great. Tuesday afternoon, don't do it. Why didn't you do it? Well, it just didn't feel right. I didn't think they were going to do it. Like they were really difficult. So the most difficult thing, and look, I don't fault salespeople for this. We hire salespeople because they're independent, they're strong ego, and they believe rules don't apply to them. The best salespeople don't believe rules apply to them. Again, I put you and me in this category. We don't believe rules apply to us.
Yeah.
So when they deviate from process, as aggravating as can be, but it's also like you gotta love them for who they are. So like it's this balance. Like, hey, like what was? Did we forget what happened? And all we can always bring it back to is like, hey, David, you mentioned it was really important to you that you were able to take your wife to Europe this summer, and that you need to make this much money. You had this many closings. How are we gonna get to these closings if you still refuse to follow the process? Like, help me understand your plan here.
Yeah. So over time, as you've been doing this, are you seeing that these scores for these salespeople are going up, that they are coachable? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it does one of two things. And here's my favorite part. They either come up or they come up. Or they go up. Either way, I love both results.
Right.
You're either getting better or you're getting out.
Right.
And so, this tool is forcing you, because I had a team member and I was coaching, and there was a lot of like, well, Steve's picking on me. And I have a lot, of the Asian parenting style where like nothing is good enough, right?
I'm Catholic, Boston Catholic guilt. I got it. I
Right?
understand.
So I do have those elements. So I don't pick on people just to pick on people. Like I can figure out from everyone, like what are the things that we're missing.
Yeah.
So I had one individual that felt like Steve was picking on him. And it's like, we're going to keep working with you. We're going to keep working with you. And then we had the AI tool roll out. And once the AI tool rolled out, we could see consistently there's one individual who was consistently ranking lower than everyone else.
Yeah.
And their decision, once we saw that, was that Steve was picking on me. It's like, hey, maybe I should be somewhere else.
So it wasn't something that was correctable.
They didn't want to correct it, right? But now we remove subjectivity, and now it's objective, right? This is a heartless machine that has decided this is your score.
It doesn't care. It has no allegiances to anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't care your gender, doesn't care your nationality, doesn't care about anything.
Right.
Did you follow the predetermined processes?
Wow. Okay, so you said you have multiple tools that you guys offer. Then that's 2 of them. What are the other ones?
So it's those are the 3. So
3.
Call review, role play, new lead, follow up.
Okay. So here's what I do think is great about AI, and I think that back in the day, I would bring in junior acquisitions people and pay them $40,000, like paid them a lot of money.
Wow.
And that's Chattanooga. I don't know what you're paying here in Phoenix, but this was their job to just call old leads. Like literally they would just sit there with a headset all day long and call old leads. Now that can be done with AI in 1 minute, or however fast you can send out these, text messages or calls or whatever it is. Like now that is done at the push of a button. It's getting done. And I can control, or whoever's doing this, you can control the script and the messaging that's going out, because everybody's business is a little bit different. So I'm assuming you can customize this if somebody's a wholesale or buy and hold, a novation, a sub to, like this can all be kind of adjusted.
Yeah, everything can be adjusted. The person that's doing it has the obligation and responsibility to adjust it for their business, but all of this can be adjusted. Really, the limitation is your CRM. Right? So we have Eric Brewer. He uses left main Salesforce.
Yeah.
So he has it where once you get to a certain point, AI is just going to call you every day for the next 14 days. And that's it. And once you leave that pipeline, then you're out of the pipeline. And then later on, it's going to call you every day for 14 days. Because if a person is interested, why are we giving up on them?
Yeah.
Right? And so you can set it up so that every lead gets touched as much as you, the owner, wants it to get touched, not as much as the whim of your salespeople. And look, again, we're giving salespeople a lot of grief. I fully recognize there's also triage, right? As a business owner, I was like, here are all the leads. By the way, I also want you to call all these old leads.
Right. That's a lot. You're throwing a lot on them, and they get excited about the people who do answer, and then, maybe they forget.
So they don't follow up. And so this is, how do we ensure every lead is getting touched? So
it gives you consistency, which I love. Predictability, that every single because the old days, right? We literally had a notebook of leads. I when I first started, we were sending out postcards. I went to an answering service. They would get an email. They would ask the questions I wanted. I would get an email, 3-hole punch, put it in the binder. And when we would have a slow day, I would literally throw that binder down like, there's $100,000 there. Go find it, right? Like just call these people. So I do love that you created something that does all of that used to cost us so much money. And it took my energy or somebody's energy to manage them. And did you call the leads? What did they say? So I do think that's absolutely fascinating.
We removed the part about inspect what you expect, and it's just here's what you can expect.
Right. So now the salespeople that we do have that do take instruction and do improve their talk tracks. Now they're getting these hot leads, people who have raised their hand maybe a second or a third time, because time and circumstances changes everything.
Exactly.
Just because on a Sunday at 1:42 they were excited, and then when you try to get back a hold of them, they kind of ghosted you. But 2 months later, all of a sudden they pop back up and they're like, "Turns out I actually do need to sell. I really do still have that same money problem, right?" And now, so is the goal to be able to do more with less, like less people?
Absolutely. I think someone asked me, like, what's the ideal sales team? I think we're going to get to a point where you're basically going to have 1 acquisition, 1 disposition, and 1 lead manager. And it's just going to be the best of each one of those 3. And AI does a lot of the heavy lifting. Right. All the stuff that we as humans don't want to do, AI can do it consistently. And then when the opportunity presents itself, the lead manager can book the appointment, the acquisition manager can run the appointment, the disposition can go and sell for as much as possible. But all the stuff that feels like a grind, all the stuff that you don't want to do.
Right. That has to be done.
That has to be done.
Right.
AI can do. And not only that, like we have it set up, like when AI is calling the leads and booking the appointment, when you, as the acquisition manager, go and look at the notes, AI has also told you, here are the hot buttons. Make sure you say these things, right? Because AI is just doing a simple intake call. Right. But the information, it reveals what are your psychographics. Oh. Right? Like, are you kinesthetic, audio, visual? All the data.
Is it listening to your voice? And
it's pulling all the psychographics and putting that in there.
Yeah.
So like when you talk to this person, make sure you talk to them in this fashion. So you got a bit of a cheat sheet.
Love it.
When you have the follow-up call.
I love it. We have AI that listens to all of our TC's calls, and it does basically the same thing. As soon as they say one word, it's got this whole screen. Make sure you're talking about all of these things. This is important. So it sounds like the lead manager, though, is the next one to go.
I think you can always have one because there will still always be homeowners that don't want to talk to a machine.
Well, yes, I agree. And that's something that we were talking about off camera a little bit. I think AI is the hottest thing it is, right? Like clearly in every industry, all the AI is all of the buzzwords. I don't know that even everybody still understands it. The adoption of even ChatGPT isn't like, we think it's everywhere. It's 100%, but it's not.
It really isn't.
It's not. Like worldwide, I don't want to say the stat. I looked it up not too long ago, but you would think it's like 90%, but it's definitely not. So, everybody, at least in our industry, in real estate, everybody's talking about AI. It's going to be the next thing, and it's going to put all these people out of business. And I don't know that that's going to happen. I still think there has to be some human interaction. So this is, I want to challenge that AI thought process maybe and kind of get your perception on it. But yeah, I think there's everything in life is a pendulum, right? Whether it's politics or whatever it is, I think we're going to swing to where everything is AI. But at some point, is it my AI talking to your AI? Like, are we accomplishing anything?
I think we're going to get to that point.
But now just AI is running everything and we're in the matrix. Like literally, we're just going by what our AI says, which my assistant gives me grief because I run everything through my AI and her name is Sophia, but she runs my life.
There's going to come to a point where like, here, look. So we did stock options, right? So we had agreement for our organization, all our team members, right? So what do I do, right? Grok was very heavily involved in drafting the stock options, right? Yeah. And then I know that when I send it to my team members, they're going to go to Grok, GPT or whatever. It's like, hey, review these stock options agreement. What should I be concerned about?
Yes.
Right? So that in the capacity, my AI is talking to your AI. So I know that's going to happen.
That's true.
So I say, hey, when I send this to my team, what questions are going to have about this? So I am aware there's this whole
I know. I do the same thing. I was sending some stuff back and forth a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, okay, how is AI going to view this? Like, what holes is it going to punch in this? And, and I think the prompts are really the most important thing.
Right.
Like, what mistakes and what blind spots do I have? What am I being fair? Like what, please tell me. And I force mine to be very objective with me and call me out on any nonsense. So I do think maybe, maybe you're right. Maybe we are getting closer to that than I really thought.
I mean, look, I had a thought experiment with somebody, right? This guy's done really well for himself. And he's like, I don't think we're going to buy coffee from robot baristas at Starbucks. I don't see myself doing it. So my question to him was like, well, would you buy one from a human connected Neuralink? It's like, yeah, it's a human, it's connected Neuralink. I also buy it. I said, well, how different is it a human connected to a Neuralink from just a machine that looks very human? It's like, where do you draw that line? Right. It's a very subjective line.
So Steve, are you getting the chip so that you can make
I'm not getting the chip. Well, I take a step back. I will get that chip when I have no other choice.
Oh, I'm getting it as soon as I can. I lose my phone, my keys. I love when people are like the chip and all the all the Bible stuff. I'm like, I'm getting the chip as soon as possible. Yeah. I want something that I can pop up the phone on my hand. I can touch my car and it starts. I have my medical records, my credit cards. Yeah. I want all of that. They got it all. Like you're not hiding anything from anybody.
They do.
So how, Neuralink, whatever it is, if I can make my life easier. But is there some diminishment in the human experience and humanity when we get to that level?
So Gary Vee did this talk a while ago, not a talk, but it was a video he released, which is basically like, we're judging all these kids for their inability to communicate face to face, right? Like they're on the school bus and they're on the phones, right? And there's a whole Roblox thing.
I see it all the time with kids. Like my assistant has 2 kids, one's outgoing and the other one mumbles, like barely talks.
But they're going to still have a functional life. I think this is just a new reality, right? I mean, like the old days, or, like 1920s, like they're on the bus and they're holding the handrail, but they're all reading newspapers.
Right.
How different is reading newspapers than like being on your phone? So like, I do think that there's gonna be a new element of how we communicate, but I think the human experience component is just evolving, and I think that's all it is.
Right.
Like I'm still a handshake, eye contact, right? I want to be able to see you face to face and so on.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna be a relic.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny even when Zoom started during COVID, like I didn't want to get on Zoom. I would like stutter before I had to do a Zoom presentation. And now when I'm on and somebody doesn't turn on the camera, I'm like, what are you, a psycho? Like, like, why can you not turn your camera on? Like, I don't have my makeup on. Like, you don't need, you're going to put a filter on it anyways. Why can't you do that? So yeah, maybe it is just an evolution. But I do think people will, I think people will want that sincerity and that connection, right?
So it's two different things.
Yeah.
Those that I think people buying over the phone
are
gonna have a lot of trouble because I think AI is a great threat for someone's buying over the phone. I think face to face, you're still safe for a while, right? But the other thing too about the connection and this and that. So Chris Voss did an interview with Andrew Huberman, and Huberman, he's like this really smart brain guy, PhD in something. And neuroscience, I believe, and then Chris Voss, obviously, he's a genius, right, when it comes to empathy and negotiation and so on. And in that interview, Chris Voss gave the most cold and scientific definition of empathy.
Okay.
Right? So we think of empathy. What is it? Is it like a hug? Is it me putting my hand on your forearm as you're crying? Right? What is it? Well, empathy, according to Chris Voss, is the transmission of information. How cold and scientific is that? Transmission
of information.
Yeah. Empathy,
like I'm not going to argue with him, but
empathy is you told me something and I repeat it back to you and you felt listened to.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Hey,
sure.
Steve, I'm really having a hard time with the situation. It's like, all right, David. So man, it sucks that you're going through this situation. I can see that it really bothers you.
Yeah.
You feel seen, heard, validated, appreciated as a human being.
I do think, I guess it is the transmission. Now, how you say it, the feelings that it invokes. Okay, there's probably more to it, but at its core level, maybe that is it.
And a robot can do all those things.
Oh, listen, so today, my assistant was messaging me. I have 2 English bulldogs. Buddy, the bulldog, she's like, under his folds are a little bit, they're red. And I said, well, maybe you could put some Neosporin on it. So literally, I go to ChatGPT. I can show you. And I'm like, hey, can we put Neosporin on a bulldog? Yeah, here's all the thing. Yeah, I can do it once, but here are some better things. At the end, Sophia, she says, which bulldog is it? I'm like, oh, it's Buddy. We're going to make sure Buddy's in really good shape. Signed, Sophia, with a heart.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah. People have relationships. People are marrying their AI bots right now. It can demonstrate empathy.
Yeah.
It cannot sympathize, but it can empathize.
Yeah, it's fascinating, even just how much it's advanced in the last couple of years. So when is it taking over? When's it taking everybody's jobs?
I mean, I'm a massive doomer, right? So I do not have high hopes. I hope Elon's right in regards to like we're all going to have universal high income. But I think we're going to hit a pretty hard bottom before we get to this, utopia. So when does this happen? I mean, my goal is to have AI be able to sell over the phone this year.
Do the whole sales process.
Yeah, like acquisition, right? Like you fill out a PPC form, it calls you, it runs an appointment, it locks up your house, buys a house over the phone. That's my target for this year.
Okay.
Because once we can do that, we're a unicorn, we're a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
So all our efforts is on that. Sure. Right? We're putting all our chips in the middle of the table on that. So once it could do that, then again, either you're buying it in person or you're competing against AI. Now, will AI be amazing right out of the gate? No, it's going to have its problems. But 6 months maybe of learning how to walk before.
Right. Yeah, you may only close 10% of deals, but over time, it's like the battery in your Tesla. It's going to get better.
Yeah, right. I mean, like I remember when I test drove the Model S P85D because it wasn't even applied yet, right? The Model S P85D, that was the best Tesla you can buy at the time. Like $140,000.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I remember like banging my head against the padding when we gunned it all the way down. My Model 3 is faster than that car I test drove. It's better in every way, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I just saw something, an ad, right? It was a Samsung 65-inch, whatever, $300.
Oh, dude, I just moved and my movers broke my like 60-inch TV. And I'm like, son of a gun. So I'm sitting there on my phone and I'm like, need a new TV, 75-inch, $328 or some ridiculous thing at Thanksgiving at Walmart. I'm like, sold, delivered to my office. I'll get it to the house somehow.
Yeah, but I remember still, there was this store, it's not in business anymore. I remember walking through and seeing like this, I don't know, it was like a 45-inch LCD or plasma TV.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the most, it was like a Toshiba, I think. Like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
I could see through it. I'm in the picture.
Right. It was like $17,000.
Yeah, I remember.
Right. So it's going to get better.
So
it's
were
going
they
to get
screwing
cheaper.
us then, or like you know, what is it?
Well, just the cost, right? Everything gets cheaper. So I think we're going to get to a world where like AI doesn't have to be better to compete in skill because it can compete on cost. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it competes on skill. And then everything I'm doing, I'll talk about I'm a doomer. Everything I'm doing, I've told my wife, let me work my ass out right now because we're going to live in District 1 when the Hunger Games begin.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's circle back for the people that are wholesaling, for our clients, for our partners. Yeah. How hard is it going to be to implement this in their business? And what's the first immediate effect that they're going to see?
Our stuff?
Yep.
It's really easy. Okay. So, I mean, right now, our team...
Because you're an engineer guy. Like, you know, most of them are like me.
Well, I say it's really easy because it wasn't when we first started.
Okay.
When I first launched this in the middle of last year, I thought, if I can build this, for sure, David can connect to this, right? For sure. And I learned that there's a lot of people that didn't have Zapier accounts. Blew my mind, right? Because I've had Zapier since 2011. I went back and looked. I got it back in 2011. Yeah. So there were a lot of people that didn't even have Zapier accounts, right? And so I learned fairly quickly through angry clients and cancellations that I cannot expect our clients to connect us.
Right.
So now, when you work with us and you onboard with us, my team will ask you, hey, can you create an email address, ai@easyreiclosing.com. Once you do that, send us that login. I want you to connect your AI, Easy REI Closing, to your CRM, to your Zapier, your phone system. Once you've done that, we will log in and we will connect everything. So within 6 days of you buying our product, you'll have everything up and running. Okay. So we did that consciously. Yeah. Because what I learned the hard way is that other people will be really angry when they buy a tool and it doesn't work right out of the box.
So lots of people say they do AI, and I know we want to wrap this up, but lots of people say they do AI and they service wholesalers, but this AI, it means so many things. Like, I can plug into your Go High Level and there's a little chat thing. Like there's a million different things there. Sure. So, and the reason I'm here is because I know you guys have a great product and I've talked to people that have it, Stratton and Nick for sure. When somebody, implements this and deploys it, we're going to use a big word, they deploy it into their business. I get that you're going to set it all up, but what's the first noticeable effect that they're going to see? And is that going to help them make more money?
The two biggest things that people see is the follow-up, getting appointments from their older leads. Right. I mean, Nick and Stratton, these two are neck and neck in my system on who's getting the most appointments from their CRM. Right. So right out of the gate, you're getting appointments booked for your closers. That's money that's just sitting there in your CRM. 100%. Right. So that's the first noticeable effect. Yeah. The second most noticeable effect is the role playing. Because that is where you can demonstrate, you can see like, oh, I have an opportunity to work on my skills. Are the salespeople excited about it? Maybe not. Doesn't matter. They're going to get better. Right. So you can see that right out of the gate. And then once they start running their appointments, uploading the calls, doing the call review, they can get better incrementally there as well. So we'll see. Generally, about 2 months, we can see a pretty quick lift on their salespeople, but then they kind of peter out. They don't really go more unless they're jumping on the actual sales trainings. They don't really get much better after that. Okay, which is something we included, right? If you buy our AI tool, that includes the sales training. And then the last thing is the new leads. So that one's entirely dependent on your marketing budget. If you're spending a good amount of marketing, you're going to see a very quick win there. Yeah. But not everyone has a big marketing budget, so not everyone sees that big win immediately. Some people are reluctant to have AI call their new leads so quickly. So they're okay with the follow-up, they're okay with the call reviews, they're okay with the role playing. But a lot of people start off reluctant to do the new leads.
Yeah.
But then over time, they're like, okay, I'm going to do new leads.
Okay. Who is this for and who's it not for?
It's for business owners that are actively running a business. They're spending at least $3,000 a month on marketing. They're at least getting 30 leads a month. If you're not spending money on marketing, do not use our service because we are not a magic button. We're not a magic pill. We're an easier button.
Right.
We make things easier, but we're not a magic pill. So if you're not ready to spend money on marketing, or you're not spending money on marketing, we can't help you. Literally, there's nothing we can do to help
you. So you have to have some leads. You have to have a CRM with 1,000 leads, 3,000 leeds. Like, what should you have there?
Yeah, if you got a few thousand leads, I think you're good there, right? Because we can knock that out. 3,000 leads, we can knock that out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We can comb through and call your entire database in 2 weeks. So if you got leads, then you're good. I think right now, real estate wholesalers, we're expanding to other industries, but at this exact moment right now, wholesalers are the avatar. And then if you're a person that like complains, we're probably also not a good fit because we want everyone to be happy.
Right.
But there's that part of the demographic that complains a lot.
Sure.
We don't want those people.
The Karens. So I've got 2,000 leads. I bring you in. It's going to take a couple days to get it set up, but then we're going to start churning through and using AI and just raining on these people basically every single day. And, my first initial thought is, well, I only have 2,000 leads. What do we do in the second 2 weeks? But in those 2,000 leads, there are going to be deals, and those deals are going to fund marketing, which is it's just going to continue to turn the wheel of your business.
Exactly.
I love that. We will drop a link in the notes or whatever this is to make sure that you guys are getting the best link and you can get directly to Steve. What have I not asked you?
What have we not asked about the AI tool? So why us? Yeah. I think that's one of the questions because there's other options out there. There's plenty of competitors out there offering AI for sales, right?
I'll be honest, because I get approached by everybody to promote everybody's stuff, and not exactly this. I think there's chat bots and there's follow-up. There's a lot of that type of stuff out there, but not that does everything that you guys do.
Right. So the biggest reason why when people ask why us is that you got Ian Ross, who's the brain behind the AI. Yeah. And so that guy is the only person I know that's more maniacal about sales, more obsessed with sales than me. And I'm pretty obsessed with sales. Yeah. He's even more so. So he's basically locked in the basement, just mad scientist doing whatever with AI all day, every day. That's his sole responsibility now. It's been his sole responsibility for the last few months. So that's the big thing. So he created the brains behind it. And for us, we're training our AI with data from the best sales organizations in the country.
That is true.
Right? Like we're not bringing on just anybody, like I've been very blessed, very fortunate to work with, the top members in Collective Genius. Got some great members from the boardroom. Yeah. We got Nick, we got Stratton. Like we've got good data.
So somebody coming in today is getting the benefit of Stratton and Nick and boardroom and like those guys doing the pre-training. Like they've gone through the hard part.
Right. So when you come in, you get that versus a lot of other organizations, like you don't have a sales genius, Ian, programming this thing with good data. You're getting someone that's, I wouldn't say Johnny come lately because this is a pretty new deal altogether, but someone that's on opportunity with AI and I'm going to make this. Yeah. But they haven't got the slightest thing about sales. Because the difference is a lot of organizations, like if you see this, you go on the news feed on Facebook and you go talk to people, they all say the same thing. Hey, David, we can get you going in the next 30, 60 days. All we need is all your sales data. We're going to create the bot for you. Oh, yeah. Right? You come with us, like, we know what works.
Right, right.
That's why I say 6 days. My target's 48 hours. I want from when you pay to everything up and running 40 hours. Just right now, I know we can do 6 days.
And this is your AI. This isn't some chat GPT overlay or some nonsense.
Today, we are built on top of chat GPT, but by the end of March, the goal is to have it outside of chat GPT because A, don't trust Sam Altman. But B, we want to build our own sales language model because that is going to be our IP. So again, when we sell the company, that'll be one of our IPs.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you taking a couple minutes and explaining it to me like I'm a third grader because I really am when it comes to this stuff. It's just not the thing that that I feel like I have a lot of expertise in. You know,
Yeah, it's what we live, breathe, die. This is everything we do all day, every day.
And this is the advantage, right? This is the advantage that every real estate investor or business owner has in today's marketplaces. I don't have to be the best at everything. I can literally go out and cherry pick the very best people in that niche, whatever it is, and have them come in and, you know, plug this into my business, whether it's property management or bookkeeping or accounting or transaction coordination or AI and sales training. So I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys.